Now the real test of this is what happens if I were to shut down the home node. Will we buffer this data temporarily? I'll go ahead and go into my command prompt here. And I'm going to go into the PIAdmin directory. And in the admin directory, I'll run a PISRV stop. What that's doing is something you of course don't want to be doing back home on a production Pi system. It's going to shut down the Pi server, so that eventually what we'll see is this connection goes bad here because we're currently connected to the Pi server. We have disconnected finally from the Pi server, and we should be safe in going over to this interface node and verifying that the buffering is actually working. Yeah, so now I'm working over on the interface node, and on this interface node we're going to go into this directory. It's the under program files, it should be under PyPC, and there's a bin directory, a bin for binaries. What we're going to be using is this. It's called the PIBuffSS-QS. PIBuffSS-QS. It should show me statistics that indicate how much data is being buffered into that queue. And if you're looking here, yeah, it's the current queue events. Notice it's 562. That should go up every 5 seconds as this updates. And now it's up to 585. And that's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger until eventually we overflow the queue in memory and overflow to disk. So let's see what happens now when I restart the Pi system back on the home node. So I'll get out of the interface node, go back to the home node, and I'm going to run the opposite of what I just did, a PISRV start. That should restart the Pi system, and as soon as the Pi system makes that connection back to the, or as soon as the interface that's been trying to connect for the, ever since the system went down, as soon as the interface reconnects, it should take that data out of the buffer on the interface node and send it here. Let me go back to the interface node. Let's do that, or take a look at this queue, see if it keeps getting bigger. Yeah, there we go. We see the queue is still getting bigger. I'm just going to wait on this side until this queue goes down to 0. That will tell us that the data that's been buffered here has been sent back to the home node. And just keep in mind that the interface and the buffering is going to attempt to connect to the server every few seconds, so we're waiting for that successful attempt. Okay, don't know if you just noticed it, but we just got a huge spike in the number of events processed, and then that queue, which had been at 1400, the queue went down to 0. So it went from 1400 current queue events to 0 current queue events. So I'm going to go back now to my home node, and on my home node I should be able to see in process book that that data has been recovered from that period. So let's take a look at the actual times. If we take a look at our message log, I shut down the Pi system at 2:37. So you can see this is when we finally disconnected. These are all the shutdown messages. And then I started it up 2 minutes later. So between 2:37 and 2:39, that's when the buffering was occurring, probably a couple of minutes after that. So let's take a look at process book for that period. So let me go ahead and change this. Let me specify a time range. Oh, let's go back, say 1 hour. And what we're looking for, let me zoom in here. Let me see if I can find that 2:37 to 2:39 period. Yeah, there we go. If you notice, I said we shut the system down at 2:37. Now here, we're seeing at 2:30, from 2:33 to 2:37 we had data. And if I were to go forward, yeah, here we go in 2:37, 2:39, 2:40. So this is the period of time when the data was being buffered, and as you can see, it's been recovered just properly into the Pi server.